Hello and welcome to episode number 22 of WITM Season 6. It is time for 205 Live, where we are going to see the Laughing Evangelist Gerald in action taking on Jake Atlas in a matchup from the Cruiserweight division. But prior to that matchup, we are going to hear from the NXT Cruiserweight Champion Andrew Spudstrong, the 7-time and reigning Cruiserweight Champion, who will defend his title in 2 days at TakeOver in your house against that man on your left, the winner of the number one contenders tournament, who had a perfect record during that tournament, Isaiah Swerve Scott. Andrew will be facing him in 2 days, and now we are going to hear his thoughts heading into the match. So let's head into the ring where Andrew has a microphone in hand and hear what he has to say. The NXT Cruiserweight Champion, now sporting a new, nearly bald look, similar to the one he has in real life. If you watch his Andrew Spudstrong videos, he is in the ring, microphone in hand. He is here to address his upcoming Cruiserweight Championship match. Let's hear what he has to say. Wow, it seems like forever since I've gotten a step foot inside of a 205 Live ring. Since then, a lot has changed. We have a partnership with NXT, and we broadcast on Friday nights. Heck, even the belt I carry has a new name and look. And with a new era in Cruiserweight Wrestling comes new, young, and hungry challengers looking to take my place as the face of the Cruiserweight division. Such as my opponent this Sunday at TakeOver, the winner of the number one contenders tournament, Isaiah Swerve Scott. Now, this past Wednesday on NXT, I tried to offer him some encouragement and advice, and all he did was give me the silent treatment. So this Sunday at TakeOver in your house, with my title on the line, I'm going to give him a new lesson. A lesson in respect. Andrew's opponent for the Cruiserweight title this Sunday at TakeOver, Isaiah Swerve Scott, has made his way to the ring to address Andrew. Let's hear what he has to say. Andrew, I do respect you, and I'm fully aware of everything that you've done here, and the fact that Cruiserweight Wrestling likely wouldn't exist in the WWE anymore were it not for you. That said, while you've been off cycling and eating potatoes for the past few months, I've been on NXT and 205 Live, defeating every challenger who has come my way. And this Sunday, I'm going to continue riding this hot streak and swerve right into that NXT Cruiserweight title match and leave as the new Cruiserweight Champion. Andrew responds, well then, you've finally talked the talk, and soon we'll find out if you can walk the walk. I look forward to facing you this Sunday. Alright, so that sets the stage for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship match between the 7-time and reigning NXT Cruiserweight Champion, the face of the Cruiserweight division, arguably the face of WITM, Andrew Spudstrong, making his Season 6 in-ring debut and first defense of the Cruiserweight title in Season 6 versus the undefeated throughout the number one contenders tournament, Isaiah Swerve Scott. That would be a great match to definitely look forward to on the TakeOver card. But now we turn our attention back to our match for this episode, Gerald versus Jake Atlas. Alright, so now Gerald had a pretty impressive run in the NXT Cruiserweight Championship tournament himself, going 3-2 and nearly earning that title shot against his close friend Andrew, but coming up just short against Isaiah Scott in the finals of the tournament. Now it will be looking to recover and keep climbing up the rankings to potentially become the number one contender and the first in line to face either Scott or Andrew following TakeOver. His opponent, as he tries to do that, will be Jake Atlas, who I believe we will be seeing for the first time in a WITM matchup. What will Atlas have in store for us, and will Gerald be able to bounce back from coming up just short in the Cruiserweight number one contenders tournament? Let's find out and get our episode 22 matchup underway It's Gerald versus Jake Atlas in Cruiserweight action on 205 Live.
And his opponent from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 205 pounds, Gerald.
All power, he contains it. The man on his own, abandoned the throne of approach across stainless. Death couldn't shake him or derail. 3 nails could pierce, but couldn't break him or make him appear taken away from his mere nature. Not while slumber is hovering over the block. I pray that my peers wake up. We were born out of alignment. The perfect timing is now to check for a pulse. If you ain't rock by him, I am prone to be biased when I peek the timeline behind him and see no highness as high as him. He reigns, Lord, firearms are too short to aim for him. Call him extremist, he leaks Katrinas with his brainstorming. That's quite enormous, to say the least. I got is a beast, his rap is the sound of a lion roaring. Since he's top by none, I'm on hip-hop, front line, screaming from the top of my lungs. I'm God!
There's the bell. This Cruiserweight matchup is underway. Jake Atlas appearing in his first WITM matchup. Gerald looking to recover from coming up just one match short in the #1 contenders tournament for a Cruiserweight title match. Gerald has the advantage very early on, momentum-wise, and forces Atlas to the canvas. There is a clubbing blow to the chest of Atlas. Gerald in control early on and trying to make very quick work of Atlas, but he powers out immediately. And there's a reversal from Atlas. Now Atlas trying to get some of his first offense in of the match and manages to connect with a suplex. There's a nice enziguri into a Hurricane Rana from Atlas, and now Atlas very close momentum-wise with Gerald, but Gerald can change that as he connects with a huge DDT.
Saw that one coming.
There's Atlas with a reversal. Atlas goes for a kick, but Gerald is able to counter and connect with a huge cutter. Very close to an RKO. It's probably technically going to be a neck breaker. Now Gerald targeting the head of Atlas. Gerald drags Atlas closer to center ring and goes for cover again, trying to make quick work of his opponent. But Atlas is going to power right away, and Gerald in shock that was not enough, but this match will continue. Now Atlas lifts Gerald up, but he's able to reverse into a DDT. Atlas now forced to his feet as Gerald connects with a clubbing blow to the back. And now locks in a submission. Great position, center ring. But Atlas is able to break the hold with an elbow strike to the head of Gerald. Gerald, however, has a signature maneuver in his arsenal now, but it's Atlas currently on the attack. There's another enziguri into a Hurricane Rana, sending Gerald's body into the yellow zone. Atlas with the advantage health-wise, but Gerald with the advantage momentum-wise. And he connects with that signature maneuver, the big boot, sending Atlas's body into the yellow zone and goes for cover. Gerald nearly picks up the victory, but Atlas powers out at 2. Now Atlas forced to his feet. Gerald has a spear, his finishing maneuver in his arsenal. But first, a massive DDT is going to bust open Jake Atlas and send his head into the yellow zone. So now Gerald, trying to make a target of that bloodied head, hits another DDT. That's going to send Atlas to the outside to try to recover.
To the outside, we just talked about those count.
Atlas wants to bring this match back inside the ring. Probably a wise move when he's already bloodied. Gerald with a reversal and an elbow strike. Gerald now has both a signature and finisher at his disposal. However, Atlas has a finisher of his own. Gerald goes for cover. Atlas powers out immediately. Gerald in shock that with all the damage he's done, Atlas was able to power out immediately. There is a Hurricane Rana from Atlas, who also has a signature and finisher built up now as well. Gerald heads to the outside to try to recover, where he will be joined by Atlas. There's an elbow strike from Atlas and a reversal by Gerald. Atlas now forced into the ring post by Gerald, who again is trying to make a target of that bloodied head of Atlas, but Atlas is going to respond by sending Gerald into the steel steps. We are now at a count of 7. Definitely in danger of having yet another match in via countout.
He may be in a bad way here.
Atlas heads back inside the ring. Gerald is still down, but Atlas is going to try to win this match honorably, at least for now, and breaks the count to go back after Gerald on the outside. Gerald avoids the enziguri. Both men still have both signatures and finishers, and both have both their body and head in the yellow zone. There's an elbow from Atlas, and I believe he has gone for his signature maneuver. Straight into a cover and nearly beats Gerald, but he powers out at 2.5. Now Atlas going for a comeback sequence, trying to get another signature maneuver. I believe he has failed to do so. Atlas now showing off a little bit of power as well. Folds up Gerald like an accordion and suplexes him. Atlas now starting to get exhausted. You can see him now covered in sweat as Gerald has the outside to try to recover. He'll be joined out there by Gerald, or rather by Atlas, as Gerald now taunts his opponent. Gerald still has the signature and finisher to use. Not quite sure what he is waiting for, but maybe he wants to damage him a little bit more on the outside as first. Sends Atlas into the steel steps. And we are once again in danger of a countout. Neither team seem to be in much of a hurry to get back inside the ring. On the outside, Gerald is sent into the steel steps. Atlas is in the ring, but will once again break the hold so he can continue trying to punish Gerald on the outside, or rather break the count. Gerald with a gut kick and a lariat. Both of them absolutely punishing each other.
reflexes.
No injury risk right yet. Well, right on cue. Now Gerald had an injury risk. His head is in the red zone and body in the orange zone. And now Gerald, wisely realizing how injured he is, wants to take the fight back inside the ring and connects with a reverse backbreaker. Now goes for cover. And very nearly gets the victory, but Atlas is going to power out 2.5. What a great cruiserweight matchup we have here on 205 Live. Now Gerald will finally use that big boot to send Atlas's body into the red zone and pick up the victory. There's a great back and forth, near fall after near fall. Match that saw a lot of fighting on the outside, and it's going to lead to Gerald recovering from his loss last week and defeating Jake Atlas to get back in the win column.
Yeah.
Here is your winner, Gerald.
All power, he can change it. The man on his own, the bandit, the throne of approach across stainless.
Okay, and here is your results and rankings update for this edition of 205 Live. In our WITM matchup, Gerald defeated Jake Atlas, who is going to be losing some of that momentum he had built up by going undefeated in the number one contenders tournament. Definitely not what he wanted to happen, I'm sure, heading into his title opportunity against Andrew Spudstrong in just 2 days at TakeOver. And in the main event, Oni Lorcan defeated Brian Kendrick. Now, does that affect the rankings in division? Let's find out. The NXT Cruiserweight Champion Andrew's opponent at TakeOver for the Cruiserweight title, and the winner of the Cruiserweight number one contenders tournament, Isaiah Swerve Scott. Number 4, Jake Atlas. Number 5, Akira Tozawa. Number 6, Raul Mendoza. Number 7, WITM's Austin Rage. Number 8, Brian Kendrick. And number 9, Tony Nese. So now we advance to our NXT pay-per-view, NXT TakeOver in Your House. Finally, another pay-per-view event, this time for NXT, our first TakeOver of Season 6. So I'm going to get the card set up off screen, including our 2 WITM matches are going to be on the card, and then I will reveal the card for you for NXT TakeOver in Your House before we call an episode. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, and here is your card reveal for our next pay-per-view, NXT TakeOver in Your House. This is a stat card where 3 of these 6 matches are WITM matches. We're going to kick things off with a match you see on your screen. The Generation competing for the last time as a stable. It will be Aaron Danger and the debuting Matt Olson, part of the Generation in WITM the prequel, and now will be a part of the Generation's final ever match as a stable as he makes his WWE debut at NXT TakeOver in Your House. They will be accompanied by the NXT Women's Champion Rose, who will be competing herself later on in the card, taking on the Legion, an old rival of Aaron Danger's AOT Master, the dual Intercontinental and 24/7 champion, one half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions and former member of the Generation who turned on Aaron Danger very early in Season 6, Zims, and accompanied by the other half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions and the leader of the Generation, Corey. That'll be our first match, first WITM match on the TakeOver card and the opening match of the entire card. Then next up, we have the in-ring return of Andrew Spudstrong as he will finally make a defense of his NXT Cruiserweight title, the one that he is in his 7th reign with, versus the winner of the number one contenders tournament for the right to face him Isaiah Swerve Scott. And in the main event, we will see likely the culmination, well, it will be the culmination for the reason I'll tell you in a moment, of the intense rivalry that has been going on here in Season 6 between the NXT Women's Champion Rose and the Queen Charlotte Flair. They faced each other 2 weeks ago with the title on the line, but it came to a disqualification victory for Charlotte Flair. Now there must be a winner, and so this match, the T for good. Will Rose's time on NXT come to an end? Or will Charlotte Flair, who already has accomplished a lot on Raw and SmackDown, but wants to add the NXT Women's title to her resume as well, bring her time on NXT to a close? We'll find out in our main event of TakeOver in Your House, but I was going to have to wait for episode number 23, because episode 22 is over. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single moment of WITM action. If you're watching via an embedded Facebook link, be sure to like the post, like the page, and leave a comment. If you would like to join WITM with your own created character, there are 2 different ways you can do that. The first is to upload your cause to Community Creations on WW2K20 on PS4 and notify us, and we will download the cause as soon as possible and get back to you. The second way is to head to the WITM website. The link is in the description, and fill out all necessary information there. Then, once we are able to, a call will be made for you, and we will again notify you as soon as we can. But that does it for episode number 22. Episode number 23 is NXT TakeOver in Your House, featuring the Legion versus the Generation. Andrew Spuzztron defending the Cruiserweight title against Isaiah Swerve Scott, and Rose defending the NXT Women's Championship in a title versus NXT career match against the Queen, Charlotte Flair. And that match will be no holds barred. Until then, this is Corey, WITM, Cow Wrestling, signing off.